People of Reddit, what was the most NSW event you ever stumbled upon in high school? My high school had to ban blankets after 2 freshmen were caught fricking under one in the middle of the art hallway. Same, though my high school had to ban blankets every winter because people were found fricking in the library. I walked into a bathroom after a fight. Broken mirror, blood smeared on the wall and floor, water everywhere, probably unrelated to the fight, and a lot of bloody tissues in the sink. Oh, and there was a turd in the urinal. I hope that was unrelated to the fight. I ran cross country in high school. Sometimes during practice we would run through trails in the woods surrounding the high school. One day right after school ended we started running down the trails and stumbled upon 2 students fricking. Judging by their reactions I don't think they were expecting a group of 15 guys to run by while they were getting it on. A freshman got jerked off by his girlfriend under the table in the cafeteria during lunch. Someone sitting near them noticed it was happening, took a video, and posted it online. The administration quickly found out, the video was taken down, and all 3 involved were suspended. We had to go outside for a physics experiment, but on the way from the classroom to the field, there was a bloody trail, because a girl had just been stabbed in the bathroom and run to the nurse. She'd moved to the country less than a month prior, gotten mixed up with some shady people, and a 14-year-old hid in the bathroom stall before jumping out and trying to stab her in the face. She put her arms up and only had superficial injuries, but she never came back. Poor girl had PTSD last time I checked. The dudes from the class where I was from before I changed classes started doing group masturbating sessions in the locker room before or after pay. That crap smelled like rotten oysters after. The next class was always fricked because of the smell. Like if you've done this before with your homies. High school bus hit a deer. Police were called. Deer was shot 3 times in front of the bus to put it down. Watched it from the parking lot while skipping school. 8th grade health class. Teacher showed us a video of a woman giving birth. Very close shots, very graphic, very disturbing to most 8th graders. The weird kid in the class tucks his arms into his shirt and starts jerking off to the fully dilated vag being shown on the 200-inch projector screen. We had a girl who would sit in the back of the bus and seemed to always have a different dude sit next to her. Turns out she was giving guys hand jobs for a small price. School is all about learning a trade. Had a guy run through the school completely naked. High school by the way. Even ran up and slapped some teacher's butt. Haven't heard of him since but they was like 5+ years ago. Classic streaking. The seniors in the photography class got caught banging in the dark room. I was a rubber dong peddler for a while at school. Girls who wanted adult toys but didn't want to buy them themselves, or couldn't, would pay me the cost and a bit extra for me to get it for them simply because I had no shame as a 17-year-old. The store clerk must have been thinking you've shoved them up yourself then reverse digesting it or some crap. Used condom left wrapped around the tap on the sink in the boys' toilets. A week later it was still there. A month later there was another one next to it. In 8th grade we went on a class trip to Hershey Park. 2 girls gave a guy a BJ on the bus ride home next to a sleeping chaperone. They eventually got caught and that's why there are now no co-ed buses in the district. This was also in 2002. I wonder if that's the reason we don't have co-ed in my district. Legend has it that a guy in my sophomore or junior year used to sit next to his GF and get handies during English class. My friend got a few hand jobs in seminary, basically high school theology for Mormons. A sophomore at my school gave a freshman a donut filled with cum. He got criminal charges. That is plain revolting. Went to a Christian boarding school. You'd be surprised the amount of fingers in vags during chapel. Walked into a bathroom after school and found a guy and a girl about to go to town. She had her shirt off and skirt up. He had his pants on. I caught them just before the moment of insertion. I said nothing. I would have left them to it, except all other bathrooms on campus except this one were always locked shortly before last bell. So I silently walked to a urinal, calmly did my business, properly washed my hands. By the time I went to leave, the girl was hiding in a stall and the guy was waiting by the door. I shrugged at the guy. Guy shrugged back. I left and heard the door lock behind me. Not one of us said anything or made a sound during the entire exchange. This is a power move. One guy flashing his dong at the teacher, and also one dude was caught in the bathroom giving a BJ. At least he got a sweet hollow foil clefairy card out of it. We had 2 people fricking under the band bus in the mud at a contest. WTF how? No one thought it would be a bad idea for the cross-country team to have thin white uniforms until we had a race in a thunderstorm. So many flashbacks of dongs swaying with each stride. In my school it was girls varsity soccer in the spring. We had lots of fans when it rained. Not me specifically, but 2 kids in my Catholic high school fricked in the bathroom and someone caught them and videotaped it. They posted it online. Our school made the news and now they measure girls' skirts if they look too high, as well as banning phones. Yup, skirt length was a problem here. I went to a small party at my friend's house. My girlfriend and I got there late. We went in and noticed nobody was in the living room. Weird, they said they'd be here. Start walking to the back and I could hear several voices in the bedroom. I just opened the door and there were 7 of my friends just having a casual orgy. Not really NSW, just my most vivid HS memory. It was the biggest poop I'd ever seen. Just one huge log, to my memory the size of the toilet bowl. It definitely didn't fit down the hole and had to be removed by a janitor. Everyone told their friends about it and one by one we all went and checked it out. Also no toilet paper in the bowl. All that was there was the one big fat legendary turd. It physically hurts me to think about how it came out of a butthole. Friend of mine got with our art teacher, who was an ex-stripper. Makes me wonder how many teachers are former strippers. Went to teacher's room to get some papers that my Portuguese teacher had forgotten and stumbled at my gym and biology teachers kissing each other really hard over the meeting table. I mean, they didn't even notice me, and oh, it was a Catholic shul, and they were both married BTW. My face when I returned to class without the papers must have been priceless. I went to a boarding school my freshman year of high school and a few weeks in, I volunteered to help walk our librarian's dog for her while her leg was healing after an injury. So I was walking this huge dog through the woods around campus when he suddenly sniffed the air and just ripped the leash out of my hands and took off into the underbrush. I started chasing after him when I heard screaming and yelling. I thought, oh god, this dog mauled someone and I'm going to get expelled. Broke through a clearing and there were 5 half-naked upperclassmen trying to put their clothes on and scatter while this dog is joyously barking and jumping up on and licking them. TLDR accidentally interrupted an orgy in the woods with my librarian's dog. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Dog days. This was junior high, but one kid who we suspected was gay gave another kid who we did not suspect was gay a BJ in the bathroom stall. And for what? A hollow foil clefairy Pokemon card. Service rendered. Goods received. Just a standard transaction. In middle school the health teacher went to show a video on the projector and I guess he had pee on his video player. He offered everyone A's to keep quiet. He was fired, then went to work for a Catholic school. A girl, freshman, went viral on Snapchat because the guy she was giving head to recorded her and said it was terrible during the recording. She's now dating and cheating on the guy we called Cherry Picker. We had many PCs in our school, and every computer room had a projector. So once when the teacher was ill and no replacement came, we were in that room. Someone started the projector and quickly found out that every P site he tried is blacklisted. But playing from USB apparently works fine. We later found out, not only are the connections whitelisted, but also fully monitored. Not long after the movie show with sound and everything started, the IT tech guy comes with a substitute teacher. That internet search history was apparently enough for them to suddenly have a substitute teacher for us. I like that he was casually walking around school with a flash drive of pee. I go to Catholic school and besides a teacher pedophilia scandal every year, I am not kidding, the kid that played the P-Hub intro on the drums that is spreading around the internet happened at my school. Girl gave a BJ to a guy and his friends filmed it. It was the talk of the school and she changed schools. 2 years later she came back and sucked a different guy's dong by the same dumpster. No one filmed it this time. Some kid at a party got blackout wasted and shat himself. In the middle of the crowd he took his pants down and slipped in it. Proceeded to army crawl to try and make it out but just smeared it everywhere. He is still known as the party pooper. Incredible nickname. Was walking around outside my high school and saw a dude leaning up against a wall getting a BJ. They didn't see me so I quietly turned around and walked away. My school is the one where that girl, Peaches, went to. The girl who ate the tampon. Also 2 students got caught fricking under the stairs. When 2 people fricking under the stairs is not the worst thing a student has done. It speaks volumes of the class. Me and 3 others found a sex dungeon underneath the auditorium in the back storage room. The girl who ran it was a junior who fricked a good portion of the football team there. There was a bucket filled quart away with used condoms. Fun day. There was a kid. We will call him CB. He was notoriously a bad kid. Always in fights. Getting kicked out of school etc. Anyways, his locker wasn't next to mine but it was really close. He and I never had problems because I purposefully avoided him. One day another kid, we will call AC, and CB, got into an argument. It led to a pushing and shoving match and some crap talking but got separated really quickly. The next day AC was walking past our lockers and CB pulled a little crowbar out of his locker, ran up behind AC, and hit him in the back of the head so hard that blood hit me in the face. Part of AC's scalp literally half folded over the back of his head as he was on the floor. CB started hitting him in the back and the back of the head with it. Other students jumped on him and held him down. An ambulance took AC to the hospital. His skull was fractured and he had broken ribs. I had to get checked out because of the blood exposure. No idea where CB went but I never saw him again. In band before a football game, I walk into the percussion room to hang with the homies. Everyone is huddled around this dude in the corner of the room laughing, so of course I walk over to check it out. Turns out the dude was showing everyone how tiny his dong is and everyone was so fascinated. Yet it was really small, like from the tip of your pinky to the first knuckle down. I've never seen anything like it. Props to the dude for having the confidence to show everyone though. Freshman year of high school, football team is out practicing. A senior varsity player came into the freshman locker room, cut all the locks off our lockers, and stole our clothes. Nice enough to take wallets and phones etc out of pockets and leave them in the lockers though. Idiot didn't realize the hallway cameras had him the whole time. Most of us chose not to shower until we got home and as a team proceeded to leave in groups in undershirts and boxers or no shirts and boxers after getting a call our rides were there. Small town, small school, so ultimately he was just benched for a few games, suspended for a day or 2 and his parents had to buy a bunch of padlocks. Pretty reasonable outcome, actually. We always threw house parties at my friend's house. One day I went to grab my jacket from one of the rooms and I heard some moaning and groaning, so I thought it was just a couple hooking up. I flipped the lights on BC. I couldn't find my jacket and saw that 3 of the track girls were butt naked finger banging and eating each other out. Instead of just standing there and watching or trying to participate, my nerdy high school self said hi, waved, and said have fun as I walked out, giving them privacy. Later on that year, I ended up dating one of the girls and would always try to mention it and maybe try to get a threesome going. Never happened though. She said it was just a drunk moment. When I was in middle school, someone jerked off and finished on his desk in the middle of class. The story is legend in our area and it's been retold so many times that it's hard to figure out what actually happened after he finished. So I'll give you each ending I've heard from different people. 1. He finished and it shot across his desk onto the girl's hair in front of him. 2. The teacher heard something happening, went over and saw it on the desk and put her finger in it. 3. He just cummed over himself and got kicked out of class. He got suspended and a few years later got caught peeing outside and put on the sex offenders list. The guy's really funny and pretty chill now. He has a lot of stories about him and they're all amazing. It's weird that it was him peeing outside as opposed to him masturbating in class that got him put on the sex offender list. In middle school some kids walked in and started fricking in the stall next to me while I was pooping. Eventually they smelt my presence. Go to assert your dominance. People snorting crushed up pills in the bathroom right off of the sink. This was in the early 2000s. Not me, but a few freshmen encountered sophomores fricking on a hill my school had for cross country and I think football, and then someone marked that hill on Google Maps. Not me, but a friend of mine who was yearbook photographer. She was a rail thin, awkward, geeky high schooler and was asked to photograph a day in the life of the swim team. Our school had the football fever and so other sports were always trying to get more than a few mentions in the yearbook packed with dozens of football shots. So my friend showed up to the swim team practice and later state tournament. She was asked to join them at their victory party, which was at someone's house with its own pool and hot tub. When she got there, most of the team was already drunk, and not an adult in sight. There were also a lot of girlfriends of the team there, and more than once, my friend was asked to join them naked in the hot tub. Sex was pretty freely flowing, and she strived constantly to get acceptable photos instead of the wanton depravity around her. At one point, some naked girl was chugging while she was in the cowboy position screwing on top of her boyfriend while everyone cheered her on. They kept begging my friend to take photos, and she refused in horrified shock. Some of the guys got really handsy with her until finally she picked a time when they were distracted, and she left. She later was crying to her best friend because she felt so stressed out and it was nothing like she expected. Sort of like showing a 10-year-old Caligula when they were expecting Toy Story 2. Only one photo made it to yearbook from that party. A hot tub photo where she had to crop out the beer keg, and everyone's body was below the waterline so you couldn't tell they were naked. You have been visited by the Cash Chihuahua. Like this video and you will be blessed with the greatest fortune. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.